Hi, my name is Leah, and I'll be your coach for our Prototype Empowered mini course, Ditching Diet Culture, so you can free yourself up and live an authentic and inspired life. Before we go on to learn ways how we can mitigate diet culture in our life, we need to understand first what diet culture is. So diet culture is defined as a belief system that focuses on and values weight, shape, and size over well-being. Variations of diet culture include rigid patterns of eating that are on the surface in disguise as healthy, but in reality, they take us further from mental health and they create more body dissatisfaction. The diet industry. I often get questions about what this consists of. Is my healthy eating plan considered part of the diet industry? And there's a fine line. So the diet industry makes up billions and billions and billions of dollars each year by marketing and selling media, products, clothing, and these social standards that basically are persuasive and make the consumer feel inadequate or lacking. It's almost as if they must purchase or buy into this diet fad to see results. But sadly, the vast majority of diets, they just don't work. And people either gain all the weight back or they actually gain more back than they originally had come to the table with. What these diets and fads do lead to, though, is a negative preoccupation with food and weight, and they create a toxic cultural ideal of a thin, fit female. This basically leads to body dissatisfaction, disordered patterns of eating, and for sadly 10% of our population can lead to life-threatening eating disorders such as anorexia nervosa or bulimia. So let's look at some of the statistics, some of the facts out there when it comes to body image and body dissatisfaction. Shockingly, 75% of women have negative self-body image. That's quite a lot. So if we were to walk into a room full of people, the majority of the women in there would probably be walking around with some sort of negative thought patterns about their body going on in that day, maybe even in that moment. Oftentimes we'll see that these body image thoughts are exacerbated by anxiety or other parts of our life that maybe cause us stress. 63% of women are actively dieting right now to lose weight. I know I've dieted before. I've seen little to no results that are lasting. And I know that most of my clients come to me having habitually dieted. I'd say the majority of women have dieted off and on for as long as they remember, sustainably eating less than 1,300 calories a day, which leads to decreased bone mineral density, fatigue, hormonal issues, a decrease in strength and performance, and it generally can leave us just feeling drained emotionally and spiritually. One of the things that I always try to think about is how I am a role model to younger women or to the women around me. So we all have young women in our life. It might be our daughters, it might be our sisters, it might be our students, and it might just be the women that we interact with have daughters around you as well. Girls of age 12 to 18 who diet are 12 times more likely to end up with binge eating disorders. So our patterns of behavior set the stage for what these young eyes are seeing and the habits that they'll pick up. And 50% of our girls that are age 12 to 16 have recorded or documented feeling like they are fat, which to me, I feel like the word fat is something that should not be on any young girl's radar, except to understand that it is a healthy macronutrient and body tissue that every single human being has on their body. So the problem with dieting is that there's a fine line between healthy extremism and disordered eating. So 35% of occasional dieters will go on to develop disordered patterns of eating, which we'll learn about in detail later. But 25% of women who have dieted will end up having a full-blown eating disorder that is diagnosable. This is super concerning. All of these can be fatal. They can lead to severe mental health issues, and they are something that no woman should ever have to. So what does all of this tell us? Well, this tells us that society standards basically view losing weight, the thin ideal, the fit woman, as good in gaining weight, having curves, having any amount of body fat past that thin ideal as bad. But the problem is that life isn't black and white. And this contrast thinking will lead us to define our sense of self by the way our body looks. So now our looks become a moral issue. As we internalize a societal problem, our values don't match what we're seeing in the mirror. And this creates an extreme sense of distrust in our own body and in ourselves. And it creates disembodiment, making us at war with our bodies. So we talked about some of the ways that we see diet culture come up in pills and shakes and diets, but we're constantly inundated with these messages all day long, and some of them are more passive than others. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is over the next few days, I want you to keep your eyes open for magazine ads, commercials, and billboards that advertise ways that they can make you have a better body. So in magazine ads, we'll see most of the models are stick thin, pretty pale, pretty tall, and they all are advertising products like fancy clothes, makeup, hair, or even just simply a lifestyle that is glamorous and comes with a lot of social reward. In commercials, we'll see a lot more persuasion with weight loss systems showing before and after photos. Airbrush celebrities will tell us that they have quick fixes or that they tried this product and it changed their life. We'll also see something that targets cellulite, which is something that is mostly genetically predetermined and common amongst all women. All of these commercials are aimed at making you a better person. They say you'll be better, look better, and feel better if you're thin. Now, then we have billboards. So we're driving past billboards. We probably are seeing these things for maybe 10 to 30 seconds tops. You're going to see a lot more things like liposuction, weight loss, cellulite removal, and hair removal, things that highlight and advertise people or companies in the community that are also part of the diet industry and preying on individuals who are looking to change their bodies and be happier as a result.